Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com, and I'm jumping online today to do a quick live stream and answer some of your questions here on my channel. So, if you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel, first of all, thank you so much. Really appreciate those of you who subscribe, watch, comment. I learned a ton from you, so thanks so much for those of you who leave comments. It's kind of a weird time of the year because open enrollment is over. We're kind of between the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. So, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you had a great Christmas and I hope you have a great New Year as well. Our family certainly did. Just thought I would share a quick picture here. This was actually from our Christmas Eve service that we went to as a family. So I have four boys, and recently, just over a year ago, a daughter-in-law. And so I am a blessed man. I'm fortunate to not only be able to help people with Medicare, but I'm also a pastor of a small church here in Minnesota. Some of you maybe have caught that in some of my other videos. And so it was just a great candlelight Christmas Eve service. We had a wonderful time. So I'm going to answer just a few different questions as I was going back today and just looking through some of the comments that I've received from some of you. Um, Hopefully you can hear this okay. And if you are watching or watching after the fact, just let me know if there was anything I could improve as far as the video or the audio. So let's jump into a few questions today and we'll go from there. So the first question was on the video that I did entitled, Can You Get Medicare Supplement Plan N in Minnesota? I know this is not applicable to all of you, but I am based out of Minnesota, and so I do have quite a few videos about Medicare supplements in Minnesota just because they do work a little bit different. And so John Urban 7333 says, if you only go out of the country once a year, would it be better to get travel insurance for health? Also, for the excess charges, as long as you look on Medicare website, it should tell you which doctors don't charge the excess charges. I'm leaning towards taking Plan N. So, one of the things that I always tell people is that Medicare provides very little foreign travel coverage. Mostly it's just for emergencies. And so you want to make sure, I always recommend it is never a bad idea to purchase, if you can afford it, some travel insurance. It can go a long way to providing peace of mind if you travel outside the country. Um, some people I know, um, they don't travel outside the country, and so because they don't travel outside the country, it's not even a concern to them if there's not that additional coverage. Because with Plan G, there is a little bit of different coverage compared to Plan N. So I always do recommend um, making sure, if you can afford it, to get travel insurance. As far as the excess charges goes, it's not doesn't happen very much. In fact, in Minnesota, providers are not allowed to charge excess charges, so it doesn't come up here. So what I tell people is, if you plan to go, to a different state, you want to make sure you check ahead and just do your due diligence to see if you can be seen at a provider for the Medicare rate. So I did get a quick comment here. Mark, thanks for watching. I want to know about disability insurance for younger people on Medicare. You'd have to give a little more information besides just disability insurance. I'm not sure what the question is, but if you want to type it again, I'll try to answer that. Let's do the next question that I got. This was on the video I did entitled "Don't Overpay for Your Medicare Supplement Plan." So Robert Mercer commented and said, "Isn't it true that if you want to change your Medigap Medicare supplement plan that you have to qualify by answering a series of medical questions concerning medications, medical conditions such as cancer, etc. So, what I will tell you is that it depends on your situation. So, if you do not have a special enrollment or guaranteed issue rights or something like that, then yes, you are going to have to answer and go through the medical underwriting process to get onto a Medicare supplement. So let's say you have a Medicare supplement plan. You want to shop the rates in your area, make sure that you're still getting the best rate for you. And you say, well, there's a company over there. They have a little bit better rate than what I'm currently paying. So I'd like to apply for that Medicare supplement and see if I qualify and if I can switch. There is an underwriting process that you go through, some health questions that you have to answer, as well as giving them permission to look at your health history. But we see people pass that underwriting process all the time. It really just depends on your health. So if you know that you are relatively healthy, you haven't had any major health issues in the last few years, then it might be something worth looking at. If you say, well, recently I've had some things come up that may disqualify me, an agent will be able to help you with that. So Mark asks again, are there advantage plans for people on disability? Yes, there are. So if you're talking about disability, Mark, um, where you qualify then for Social Security benefits, I have a younger sister who has that situation. She's in her 40s. She's on disability. She qualifies for Social Security. She does have a Medicare Advantage plan. Depending on where you live, the costs for those plans can vary. So it really depends on where you live. So you can always look at that on Medicare.gov, or you can also reach out to my office if you want to do a review for that, or if you want to find an agent near you that can help with that. But yes, definitely, if you qualify for disability, you have Medicare A and B, you can get a Medicare health plan. All right, next question was also from Don't Overpay for Your Medicare Supplement Plan. So this question is a common one. I had someone ask this question yesterday, actually. Lisa said, if I choose a supplement plan, do I still pay for Part B for my Social Security check? Is a supplement plan in addition to Part B? It's very confusing. This comes up pretty regularly with people that I talk to, and I think one of the reasons why is because people are surprised that there's a monthly premium for Medicare Part B. And so a lot of people maybe assume that Medicare is free. Medicare is not free. In fact, there is a deductible. Most people don't pay a monthly premium for Part A, but there is a deductible for Medicare Part A. So in 2024, which we're almost there, if you were to go into the hospital, that deductible would be $1,632, and that is not for the year, that's by a benefit period. So that resets after 60 days. And then, of course, with Part B, there is a monthly premium for most people in 2024. They're going to pay $174.70 a month. If your income is higher than that, you may have a higher Part B premium, and then the deductible is $240 for the year. That is for the year. So the thing you have to remember when it comes to traditional or original Medicare, which is A and B, is that whether you do a supplement or you do an Advantage plan, you have to have your A and B in place. Also, if you have just traditional Medicare, which some people do have, there is a 20% leftover gap that comes to you. So that's why people do what's called a Medigap or a Medicare supplement. So they have A and B, they're paying their 174 a month in 2024, but they still have a 20% gap in coverage. And so that's why you need to seriously think about and consider doing a Medicare supplement. If you do a Medicare Advantage plan, then the cost is capped at the what's called the maximum out of pocket for the year. It's similar to a traditional health insurance deductible. It's just called a maximum out of pocket for the year. So yes, to answer this question, you do have to have Part B. If you have it set up to withdraw from your Social Security, that does need to come out, and you will have the premium for your Medicare supplement as well. Um, I'll do one more question here. Do you have to, this is on my video, do you have to sign up for Medicare at 65 if you are still working? So someone commented and they said this: my employer's healthcare is better than Medicare and cheaper. This makes no sense. This was Darla who commented. You should only have to sign up for Medicare when you get on Social Security. So the thing you have to remember is that health insurance plans vary greatly. Some people have very rich health insurance benefits through their employer after 65, and some not so rich. So you can't really look at this and say carte blanche, your employer's health insurance is better. Yours might be, but unless you break down the summary of benefits and the outline of coverage with your employer plan and compare that to what you would have with Medicare, there's no way to do an apples to apples comparison. And some people, a lot of people, quite honestly, they don't really know what their health insurance plan would cost them on their employer plan because they either haven't looked at their summary of benefits ever, or they haven't looked at it in a long time. You always want to get a copy of that if you're contemplating transitioning to Medicare as opposed to your employer's health insurance, because you may have spectacular employer coverage after 65, but you may have something that's expensive and is less comprehensive than Medicare. So you really have to, do a side by side comparison, basically looking at, this is what my employer health insurance looks like, the cost, and this is what Medicare looks like. And most people, if they're not careful, will make the mistake of assuming that their health insurance through work is better when it might not be. So you really need to get a hold of that copy, if you can, of those benefits, because it is important. And so what I always tell people is you can reach out to your HR person and they can usually email you a copy instantly pretty much, and you can get that, and then you can start to do some research and decide, is this plan better or worse than basically Medicare's coverage. So that's all I wanted to do in today's quick video. So if you have questions about Medicare on some of my videos and you leave a comment, I may address it in a future live stream. If you have other questions, you can reach out to me through my website at meetjamie.com, and make sure, if you enjoy videos like this, you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great